is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I send me a figure flee. Me have to take away myself. Me have to take away myself. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out aside. Me have to take away myself. Have to take away myself. I have to utilize thy wings. Show the eye, leave your eyes. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel hide like a thief in the night. May I feel get out aside. May I feel take away myself.
Welcome. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. This is yours truly, Franco. Flavius will be linking up in a few moments. So, while he's making his tea, let's just listen to some music.
Been it, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a masochist who won't play your game, yeah. To all you move, you off me way to the core. Sayonara, hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves.
The ones who I grow with tell me this. Life is a test, learn as much from it. Don't get lost in the
Yes, the artist Craig Edeast, he'll be joining us later on this morning. Journey.
Oh yeah. To all the ones, you know. When you see a youth, sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we tell them say no give up. The one them a fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing, we precious. Them one we life is so hard and a citrus. Them said that we suspicious, you them see waiting and live up. Then too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going out. Don't let the struggle in this time get you down. Pick up yourself from off of the ground. Life is an ocean, learn to swim or you drown. You live and you learn, you better be firm. Fight. Do what is right, keep your goals in sight. Stick to the ones that you hold the same heights. Wise mind think alike, the future is bright. It's sticky out there, yes it's tricky out there. Someone said them care, but them don't even want share. Them treat me unfair, and that make me cry tears. Cry. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going out. When you see a youth, sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we tell them say no give up. The one them a fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing, we precious. Them one we life is so hard and a citrus. Them said that we suspicious, you them see waiting and live up. Then too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, I tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough And you feel like giving up, I tell you sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going down.
Yes, indeed. Journey from the artist Craig Edeast, who will be joining us this morning in our storytelling. And of course, we have Flavius now with us this morning. Flavius, how you doing?
Good morning. I am doing fine this morning.
I'm
Nice
glad to hear that.
Keeping out, yes.
So,
Yeah, man.
how is Jamaica this morning?
Well, I think Jamaica is pretty good. I'm not sure if and how they have solved the school problem, but I guess by tonight, Friday evening, we should hear more about that. But I did not hear much about it yesterday. But we don't seem to be having a lot of cases right now. Although everybody is worried about when the island opens up at the next 2 weeks, and what protocols are being put in place and all that.
True.
Because we know Jamaica, no matter what happens, tourists will come. Yeah, we will get tourists in Jamaica.
True.
So it's just a matter of managing them, and like Mr. said, you don't want Jamaica to become a sterile place,
Yeah.
Still have to have the love and the warmth and all that. So how can you do that from a distance? You have to look after the guests well and all that. It's going to be a challenge, but it can be managed, I think. I think it can be managed. We have missed badly so far.
Yeah.
So we just have to, everybody just have to just be responsible.
Absolutely.
And look out for your neighbor and look out, for your family and your kids. Make sure we're safe and we're safe and we don't jump back in and say, "Oh, Corona gone." It's still there, not gone anywhere. So we have to bear that in mind and know what we have to do. I don't know. My biggest problem right now is with masks. Ordinary cloth masks. I know for myself personally, I could not wear that for a day. A hour and a half, 2 hours maximum. I didn't want kids to wear that to school. I didn't want people going to work to wear that even inside their workplace. We need to design better masks. We are ingenious people. We can design some masks that don't want you to this carbon monoxide that can be and something that won't let you perspire too much, things like that.
True.
Somebody has to look into this masking properly so we can have a proper mask that people can breathe normally. I think that's the biggest problem right now. Because the one that I wear, the one that everybody has, most people have, 2 hours max. I mean, I don't even want to wait for 5 minutes, but I have to when I go and make sure I put it on, I keep it on, and I don't touch it. But I have to be doing everything in rapid that I can get back home as quickly as possible.
True.
So I can take it off. I think that's the biggest challenge right now. I don't know how we will solve that one, but I think we need to go to the drawing boards and design something that is suitable and functional. That is what we need right now. Because we can social distance as all we like, but there's times when you're going to be coming close contact with people, walking on the street, in public transport. So we need proper masks that people can be comfortable with. And that's the main thing for me right now, is that we can get proper masks that people can wear and be comfortable, because you can't do proper work if you're not comfortable. Kids can't be studying or listening to the teacher if their mind is more, and not breathing properly,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a major thing. I don't think we have really looked at that in a great extent. I think we need to design our own thing now. I mean, it's been around for a few months. We should know what could work best for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the doctors involved in the design, and the nurses, because they are being given a better designed one that other people can't really buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear that they work a little better, but I'm not convinced that they are the best thing either.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely need to look into the mask thing now. Definitely.
Okay.
Yep. So it's Friday, and today we are embarking on a new area this morning. In a Caribbean podcast, and we're trying to do everything Caribbean. And one of the most important things to Caribbean people is their food. So today we're going to start the Real Caribbean Cooking Show. And, we'll get different people from different islands, different ideas, different dishes to come on and speak to us. And, give us recipes and all that, ideas of how Caribbean people do their cooking and why, we like our food so much, because it is so nice and the variety is so great.
Mm-hmm.
Starting before, I give a commitment, before our second show, we'll have information from each show on the website, realstuffpodcast.com, that will have recipes and images and all that, and where you can leave your comment, you can ask questions, and our chef direct to whatever chef you want to, and they will give you a feedback. They will answer you back. But the recipes will be there permanently, so you can go there and download. And it's therealstuffpodcast.com. One long word, the Real Stuff Podcast. So we are going to use that to supplement the Friday shows. I tell you about it, tell you that, and then after you listen to their methods and ideas. And remember, you can ask questions during the show. Go to you subscribe to the channel and go to the chat box, and you can ask questions. We are monitoring that, and we will ask our guests immediately your question, and you probably can get an immediate answer. And then you can comment and ask questions on the website also. So pretty soon, everybody will be cooking Caribbean. Dear Franco, what about you? Cooking Caribbean?
I've
cook Caribbean every day?
I've always been cooking Caribbean every day. That's
in
my blood. That's in my blood.
Yeah,
you taste my cooking already.
Yeah, that I do know.
Okay.
I do know. Yes,
exactly. Yes. I might put up a recipe. Mm-hmm. You never know.
Oh yes, that will be welcome. That will be welcome.
All right, then before we get into the cooking and thing, we're going to have Did You Know? So we're going to give you a little interlude of music before we go straight into the Did You Know?
Oh, okay.
I'm Hall, and I'm inviting you to hang out with Flavius and Franco on the Real Stuff podcast. They're such great company.
All right.
Yes, so we have Flavius with your Did You Know? Let's bring in Flavius with Did You Know? Yes, Flavius. What do we have for Did You Know?
A very, very interesting topic to my mind anyway.
Uh-huh.
And it is strange how your mind work, you know, how your memory works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember going to school, I think it was primary school or early high school, that I heard about this thing. The first thought about Trinidad. And gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Trinidad this morning. And hello, all in Trinidad, Yvonne and all our friends over there. We learned at that time that Trinidad had a phenomenon. In fact, some people even call it the eighth wonder of the world. They have a pitch lake. And the pitch lake have the largest natural deposit of asphalt. And when we talk about the largest, it's not only the largest, but by far the best quality of asphalt anywhere in the world. In fact, they say there's only 3 places that have natural asphalt, and Trinidad is the biggest and most accessible and used one. The Pitch Lake is located in southwest Trinidad in the village of La Brea. It's the largest and most significant pitch lake in the world, measuring approximately 100 acres, 41 hectares, and is estimated to be 76 meters deep in the center. The quality of the asphalt first impressed English explorer Sir Walter Raleigh in 1598, crediting with rediscovering the lake. He initially used the asphalt to seal his ship. The Trinidadian asphalt held well, even in heat and sunlight, and he thought it was superior to the Norwegian tar he had been using. Pitch Lake is not exhaustive. The last estimate from 10 years ago indicated that it would last another 400 years at its current rate of extraction. Trinidad Pitch Lake, located beside the village of La Brea, offers visitors a unique opportunity to experience the world's largest natural deposit of asphalt in the world. Only 3 natural asphalt lakes exist in total, the other 2 being La Brea Tar Pit in Los Angeles and Lake Guanaco in Venezuela. But Pitch Lake is widely regarded as the most magnificent, known to many as the 8th wonder of the world. Its asphalt, as the Trinidad asphalt from the Pitch Lake, has been used to pave roads and airport runways around the world. And I must say that not many countries can afford to use it on their airport runways because of the cost, because of such a high level. It's not a very cheap item. Including, so it is used to pave roads and airport runways around the world, including the roadway in front of Buckingham Palace in England, LaGuardia Airport in New York, the Lincoln Tunnel, which connects New York to New Jersey, as well as numerous roads in several other countries. This is Fish Lake. It may look like a giant parking lot. If you look at the screen for you, you see a lot of images of what the lake look like. But make no mistake, it is only commercially viable source of natural asphalt in the world. Yep. So that is it. That is it for this morning. So Trinidad had the Fish Lake long before they discovered oil. So they have the Fish Lake and they have oil. Both great natural resources. Both of them you could call black gold. Black gold.
Yes,
Just to give you
yes.
an idea, measurements that we're talking about. You say cover the surface area of 100 acres or about 75 football fields. So it's very big and very deep.
True, true.
Yes,
So,
that's it for this
so in
morning.
case you
Just a
didn't
little bit
know,
more.
now you know.
Yes.
I don't know about you in a flavor. So you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling very good.
What's in your cup this morning?
Ah, coffee again.
Coffee, coffee. Well, I'm drinking orange peel tea with some honey.
Oh, you have things that I don't have.
Orange.
And I've been trying to get honey.
No, most of the
Can't
honey,
get any.
most of the honey they have on the market is sugar honey. I forgot to a farm. Forget the real honey. I got some like
No,
2 or 3 months ago.
I have only farmers near me, but they just not bring it away.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Yeah.
Nothing is blooming or blossoming in Jamaica. What's going on, man?
I don't know. Well,
But
everybody is blaming the drought. Everybody is blaming the drought. Because if you do see honey in the market, you can't buy it. I mean, it's thousands of for this bottle of honey.
we'll soon get rain, man. We're going to get abundant rain. Wait.
Yeah, rain is what we need now.
Wait.
Rain is what we
Wait. You guys going to get a lot of rain this season.
Well, that will be good. That will be good.
True.
The farms need it badly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead now and see if we can link up with Selena, who will be doing the real Caribbean cooking this morning. That's what we
Yes,
call
we don't
the
have a
flavors,
clue
the real Caribbean cooking.
Yeah, we don't have a clue what she's coming with, but one thing we know, it will be sumptuous.
True.
It
All
will
right.
it will be something for us to try out after.
Definitely. And of course, for those of you who are listening, watching online, I want you to subscribe, like, and subscribe, and make your comments. Because I'll be monitoring the live chat room box this morning. Plus, you can make your comment. And of course, you see that bell? Yes, the bell. Click on the bell. So whenever we are on, you will get a notification to let you know that the Real Stuff podcast is online. A matter of fact, listen to this.
This is not a bluff. It's the real stuff. Moderators Franco and Flavius. The voices you can trust to speak objectively and get to the nitty gritty. So I can't get enough of the real stuff.
This is your very own sports, music, and lifestyle podcast with Flavius and Franco. Welcome.
Seat upon the throne of glory. About Tarragon, tell you a true story. That might the mythical knight and Davon Silver.
Wishing the best and filled with happiness.
What a mercy, yeah.
With love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. And every fest was warm, like a tree seed.
What a man say?
And the rivers of love you were plant, yeah. Your promise will make me haste to surrender. Angel Lord, you're especially saint, yeah. Wish you the best and filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs,
Yo,
yeah.
the woman forget to pamper. She forget pet the woman. Now watch no step, she delicate woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, don't let me tell you vital part of me biology. If she never open and let them baby would have be. Which one a proud city now me is.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
No, that could have never be who you think nurture, pamper and care for me. To the long arc series of maternity, none of the woman forget pamper. She forget the woman. Now watch those steps, she delicate a woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, darling.
You're moving graciously. The love you give me is so stress-free.
Oh, you mean,
yeah. You are a source of strength, Miss Magnificent, positive thinker.
Woman
You
of
my
the
baby
master
queen,
race.
oh my Madonna, modern day man.
join on me, friends.
So wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams.
Tell ya.
More kisses and hugs, yeah.
Follow them when you are going with your girl chat. You mad, couldn't be referring not to me Princess Black. Well, if you not come out of the poopy back, that the mic say if negativity you would hold it back. Cause there's no other like the female gender. No amount of sex change can replace your mother. You might tend to differ as you go older, but the breast was best and still is me brother. The woman forget pamper, she forget pet the woman. Now watch no step, she delicate a woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, done it. Coulda never come disrespect my queen, you know. No, you better come clean. Silver, come bounce it so.
Wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. Wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah.
Woman forget pamper, she forget better woman. Watch no step, she delicate a woman, you know. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, than the woman. Yeah, the woman, you know. Need some respect, security for surety. More of that from you and me, you know. She a celebrity, the woman. Pamper, she forget to pet the woman. Hey, watch those steps, she delicate the woman, you know. Forget tights and respect one. Me mother, sister, than the woman.
Big up the Sunshine Girls. Your team can tell. We are there. Simmy.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Number one.
Sunshine girl. Sunshine girl. Number one. Consistently in the top 5 of the world. Sunshine girl.
sunshine girls have a potent offense. And when them get ready to go mount a defense, no ball can pass round here, no. Cause the sunshine girls from top of things. Top of things we have to wonder if them have some wings. Have some wings, seems like they can fly way up to the sky. The girls from top of things we have to wonder if them have some wings. Have some wings, seems like they can fly way up to the sky.
Sunshine girls, the whole of Jamaica love uno. And we are big enough, I will know say I will not bring up the cup.
Wow! Yeah. When the sunshine girls step on the go, nobody can stop their flow. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-do. And them can dance so. Sunshine girls step on the go, nobody can stop their flow. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-do. And them can dance so. Them can dance so. Them can dance so. When the sunshine girls step on the go, nobody can stop their flow. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-do. And them can dance so. Girls go, nobody flow. Dee-do. Dance so. Girls go, nobody flow. Dee-do. Dance so.
Sunshine Girl. Yes, we're waiting to link up with Miss Selena Dodson this morning, and she'll be doing the real Caribbean cooking. So in the meantime, let me remind you that subscription is good. Yes. So like and subscribe. And for those of you who want to tell a friend, just tell them that the Real Stuff podcast is live and direct on YouTube. And once you go to Reggae Nostalgia dash the Real Stuff podcast, you'll find our YouTube channel. And every day we are there Monday to Friday, weekdays Monday to Friday, different time zone. So if you're in Jamaica, it's 9 o'clock. That's 9 a.m. in the morning. If you're in Miami, it's 10 a.m. And if you're in Canada, it's 10 a.m. And if you're in California, it's 7 a.m. If you're in England, it's 3 p.m. And if you're in Australia, it's 12 a.m. So that's the time zone that we are in your neck of the woods, whichever part you're from. You know, some part of the United States is in daylight saving time, and some is in central and, eastern, different time zone. And of course, the same thing goes for Canada as well. So while we're waiting to link up with Miss Selena Dodson, let's hear some more song. And this one was released May 29th, but we played first on our internet radio, and of course on our podcast.
It's alright. It's alright. It's okay. Just hang on a little bit longer, 'cause tomorrow is another day. It's alright. It's okay. Just stand firm in the face of adversity and watch them fade away.
you're caught in between the devil and the deep blue water. I know say that when you come home my yard and the picnic them I look them sober. So you do what you can, cause a man is just a man, and you don't make the picnic them sober. And you pray to the Father when this tribulation I go in, but remember Jonah in the belly of the whale and Daniel in the lion's den. It's alright, it's okay. Just hang on a little bit longer, cause tomorrow is another day. It's alright, it's okay. Just stand firm in the face of adversity and watch them fade away. I say time of a wait to test your faith, so you got to have enough endurance. One day at a time, just keep on trying, cause time carry no insurance. No matter how the situation hard, things can only get better. Just have some faith, everything I go great, cause nothing ever lasts forever. And you pray to the
Yes, it's all right. It's all right for whatever you're doing. This morning in the Real Caribbean Cooking, we have none other than Miss Selena Dodson. Welcome, Selena. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And how is the family?
Everybody's okay, just with the COVID thing. So they have homeschool driving me crazy, but can't do anything about it.
I understand. I'm going through that too as well.
Yeah.
So let's just do this before we have any problem with the internet, since
Sure.
we know it's very busy because everything is opening back up, schools and
Yeah.
work. So what do you have for us this morning?
Well, you said you wanted to talk about food, so I'm always ready
Mm-hmm.
to talk about food. For myself, my mom is a Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is a Barbadian. Well, was a Barbadian. He passed away in December.
Okay.
So
Oh, sorry about that, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, thank you. So for me, I grew up in Barbados, but I never really fully took on Barbadian culture because half of my family is still Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, cuisine, I usually do like a mix, basically, a kind of I would say a fusion.
Yeah.
Not only the different Caribbean foods, but then also I was born in New York. So I try to make everything that I do multicultural. Even the things that I do that are Caribbean things, I still put my own spin on it and
Mhm.
just use my training then to, add a different style or an international spin to things rather than sticking to what I try to make it the best I can rather than just say, okay, well, this is what we have here, so this is what you have to use.
Yeah.
So so sometimes I shy away from labels because then people will tell you, oh, this is not this or this is not that. And my question is, it tastes good or not,
True.
because I feel like, this is my philosophy on many things in life. Before there was a university, there was a man who decided to open one. So I don't allow people to style me or to say, well, this is how you have to do something. I acknowledge that. I will even keep the recipe, but then I always, try new things and put different spin on things and try doing things a different way,
Yeah.
Because I think that's what makes it interesting, so you don't get bored.
True.
Yeah. So what do you guys want me to talk about? What I cook, just in general?
Yes, just in general,
No,
because
if you could tell us about even one dish so the people can probably go out and try,
Okay.
that would be good.
Right. Well, right now, I was telling you guys when I first met you, what's funny about me is that, like, right now, since I started cooking again, because I had a little hiatus where I wasn't cooking,
Mhm.
I sell jerk. But obviously, I don't have pimento wood here, but we have the pimento. So I came up with my own method of doing jerk here in Barbados.
Okay.
But as far as a dish that people would want to try, I know they have. I could leave off what I normally do. I'm just telling you that part. But right now, I find there's a lot of breadfruits in season, and I feel like fruit is a real underrated vegetable.
Yeah.
Just for the fact now everybody is into pastas and a lot of things that are now proven not to be so good for you. And then now people trying to get everything gluten free. I think it's funny because you have things like breadfruit, sweet potato, different things you could have been using all along rather than having to buy gluten free pasta. So if there's somebody listening to me today, I want to encourage you if you have like any breadfruit, it could be cooked already. Like suppose you were doing something like with a pickle or something, you had breadfruit. Because what happened a lot of times is the breadfruit is very big, so a person might use half, or to do something, but then you still have all this breadfruit left. Rather than using pasta, try using breadfruit instead. I've been doing some things with some young mothers, like less fortunate women who have children or underage women who have children, and we did this breadfruit lasagna with them. So basically, we do the tomato sauce and we did the cheese and everything. Put them in different bowls, and then instead of using the lasagna noodles, we used the breadfruit. And even some of them that say they don't like breadfruit, they loved it. It was really, really, really good. So I think that's what I mean. You have to get creative because sometimes what you have is not the traditional recipe, but it might even be better or even healthier for you than the original recipe. So you don't have to get limited with food. I think that, as much as even like on my page, sometimes I do give out recipes. I try my best to force people into a zone of thinking for themselves and thinking of what can I do here. Because the problem with cooking is that a lot of times people get stuck in what they were taught and they don't really venture out into what is possible. But the truth is that what we're taught was based on the circumstances of our ancestors. But what is possible is really limitless, And I always say if you meet somebody from a different country, find out what they eat. Because that's how you really get to know about people like and about food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is the real aim of this show.
Yeah, to showcase what other people do.
Yes, in the Caribbean, what the Caribbean does.
Yeah.
No.
Because the Caribbean, we have the same ingredients. And people doing completely different things. Like, I never see saltfish in soup before. But in Dominica, they make the oil down and they put saltfish in it with the chicken, pigtail, saltfish. And I mean, like, it works. It's not strange. It's not really different. When you eat it, it tastes like Caribbean food. But then, like, it's not something maybe done at home. So it's the same people with the different ingredients doing all sorts of, new and fun things with it. And then when we come along, we might not have a different ingredient that we want. So then we make our own spin on the same thing too. It's like how there's an argument between people who say curry chicken and chicken curry. But in the Caribbean, it's curry chicken. And curry chicken is not really the same thing as chicken curry, like Indian curry, because they have a Caribbean flavor to it and different spices and stuff that are used that are Caribbean. Even Caribbean people still put things like thyme and marjoram and, Caribbean herbs in their curry, whereas like the Indian curry, you find it more have like cumin and like cilantro and stuff like that. So it still comes out kind of different. So that's what I mean is, all different people come from different places, but still we can come together and do different things and take people's ideas and use them to create new and exciting dishes.
True.
How do you prepare the breadfruit? Let's say for your breadfruit lasagna, how do you prepare the breadfruit itself?
Right. Well, it's simple. If you have, you can just cut the breadfruit, peel it, and boil it. Take out the middle, cut it in forks. Take out the middle and boil it, and then slice it. So that way, it's not too fine. The slices before they're cooked. Because if you cut it very thin and then you cook it, they will break up. But if you cook it as one, like a larger piece, Once it's cooked, then you slice it, and then you use it to replace the lasagna and recipe. I mean, people, you can do you don't have to do tomato sauce and all that either. You can do it like how you do macaroni pie or macaroni and cheese too, and just put like a cheese sauce on it. But I find people always with breadfruit have like a salady take to it. So like here in Barbados, we always do like putting a sauce on breadfruit or pickled breadfruit or even like breadfruit fufu, which we then serve with the same fish and that sort of almost like a salady feeling to me because it comes with like pickled cucumbers. But there's all sorts of things you can do with breadfruit to use it as a replacement for pasta in recipes, which is really the point I was making. So it's very easy. You just peel it, but don't cut it up too small. You boil it how it is, and when it's, you test it with a fork to make sure it's done, and then you take it out, drain it, and then you slice it, and then at that point you can put whatever sauce you want on it, and you just bake it in the oven basically for the sauce to adhere to the breadfruit because it's cooked already. So very similar to how we do pasta.
Okay. It sounds nice, yeah.
Yeah, it came out really good, and a lot of little kids ate it. That's how you know when something is tastes good because children's palate is not developed yet. So they're not gonna eat something like an olive or they're not accustomed to certain things yet. Their palate isn't developed. So once they eat it, it just tastes good right off, bang, or else they don't like it. But but yeah, so a lot of the kids ate it. But yeah, we do all sorts. I do all sorts of different stuff. It depends on what I'm doing. Because when I'm doing like a consultation type of role, then you're gonna end up cooking what the person can eat versus like when I cook what I feel like, which is like back in my private chef days. But I finish off with private chef now. That's too close to slavery. We're done with that.
Okay.
So, but then most of the time those people, they don't know what they want to eat. So basically, they give you a budget. You have money. You can cook whatever you want. But like I prefer to, find out what a person can eat because nowadays people have so many different allergies and different problems with food. You have to be careful now about what you cook and so on. So that's why I try to promote people eating things that are local, that are natural, that they have easy access to, rather than like dishes that are so-called fancy dishes, which a lot of times are not better than what you have at home. It's just how the world has been marketed to people. So the world has been marketed that things that are French are, what you call it, bougie or so, or, they're not down to earth. So when you do that to food, sometimes you're not really eating the best food. You're just eating what you think is fancy food. But now I see a lot of chefs are bringing things in that are like real simple things like lamb shank. You never used to see like lamb shank on a fine dining menu. It was considered a cheap cut of meat. But now people realize it doesn't matter if it's cheap or expensive, it's delicious. So they put it on and people are eating it because it's cut close to the bone, have more flavor, usually a lot of time than loin cut. So I think it's just about really educating yourself about food, and just figuring out what you like as a chef and what you want to push and how it can benefit your community as well. Because for me, as I said, I try to push us local. So that's how I even started doing this work, because in Barbados, chicken and pork are local. You can get lamb too, but lamb is always few here and stuff like that. So I wanted something to do on Friday, so I figured I would do something that is local, easy access, and something that people can afford. Now, when you do things for instance, a veal cutlet or something like that, it has to be imported. You have to spend a lot of money on it. To even get it brought in is the problem in the first place. And then even with the coronavirus and the different issues we've been having with the shipping, you might find yourself unable to get certain ingredients. So I have just tried my best to do my part as well, to cook things that I know you can get in Barbados, and therefore give back and support local farmers while still producing interesting food.
You did mention sweet potato, and I'm seeing that nutritionists and doctors are really promoting that as as a very high fiber thing that is very good for you. What
Yeah.
kind of uses you have for that?
Well, I like to do sweet potato salad. I like to put it with like lime juice and like olive oil and onions, and I will add it to a salad in that way, so that therefore you have like a cold use of it too. I know people usually they just take it, they boil it, they mash it and so, but I will boil it,
Yeah.
put it in the fridge, and then like use it as salad and stuff. Especially if you're dieting, sweet potato is a real go-to food. So it's good to have it prepared in a way that you can eat it, that it doesn't have to be necessarily used back up. So I like to do a lot of those salads with it. But other than that, sweet potatoes make good fries. They do good everything. So like even like for instance, English potato gives you information. Sweet potato does not. So if you normally make stew chicken, curry chicken, anything like that, and you put potato in it, put the sweet potato instead of normal potato. I think potatoes are great, and I think they're underused in the sense that people don't. The same way how people use English potato, you can use sweet potato, but a lot of people don't do that.
So when you say you put it and put it in the fridge, you actually freeze it or what? I just put it in normal section.
No, normal in the fridge. So basically, what I would do is I would boil the sweet potato, and how I want to serve it is how I would boil it. So if I want to cut it up into like bite-sized pieces, like 1-inch pieces. Like yesterday, I made sweet potato. I thought the skin was pretty, so I didn't peel them because there's a lot of vitamins in the skin of potatoes too. So what I did was I put them in some cold water in the sink and let them soak a little bit so that the little bit of dirt that is still inside the skin can get soaked off. And then I just scrub them a little bit, and then I just cut them up and I cook them. Then
Scrub them out.
I just scrub them like with a what do you call it?
Toothbrush?
Sponge. With a sponge.
With a sponge,
Okay.
Back
okay.
of the green part of the sponge. Sometimes
Yeah.
if I want to serve the skin and I don't like how it looks, sometimes I will scrub them with a steel wool just to get the any imperfect looking parts off without having to peel the whole sweet potato, so you can still get some of the benefits from the skin. And then you just you put it in the water, so it depends on how you want to do it. I also like roast sweet potato. So for those ones, then you just wrap it in the foil and you put it in the oven whole. You can do a lot of ways, but you can roast it like a breadfruit. So you can wrap it in the foil, put it in the oven, and then just leave it. I think it takes about 45 minutes, but depending on the size of the potato, obviously. And then you just stick it with a skewer to see if it's done. And once it's done, you get like a drier version. I like to do that with things like herring or like saltfish, or even like how y'all do ackee and saltfish. Anything like that is good for the roast sweet potato. But then there's another way of roasting sweet potato, which is more, I would say, restaurant style, which is where you peel it, but you don't have to, but you peel it and you toss it in like olive oil and maybe like some fresh herbs, like some thyme and a little garlic and some salt and pepper. And you put it on the sheet and you put it in the oven. And that's a real good way to like just have like a healthy start there. I see people doing all sorts of strange things with sweet potato now. They make like sweet potato buns. Mm-hmm. So rather than eat like bread, they are like cutting the sweet potato into 6 slices and then putting the meat between it. Mm-hmm. I don't really feel like bread to me. I have a real problem with like I don't have a problem with people being a vegan or a vegetarian or having any dietary restrictions. But I feel like I don't like copycat things. I rather just do something else altogether. Okay. So rather than like fake bread, I rather just do something. You know what I mean? So like for instance, like you see like in vegetarian food, there was a time when they had all of these stuff and they would call it like vegan chicken. But I feel like that messed up people's brains because it's not chicken. Mm-hmm. So just if you understand what I mean. It's like a protein alternative, but they just want to find a way to market it, so they call it chicken still. But I don't I don't like things like that. I prefer you just say what it really is. Like for instance, they have all these lactose-free cheesecakes, which you do like cashews, and they soak them and they put them in a food processor and it come out smooth, and then they use that instead of cream cheese. But I'm saying it's not a cheesecake; it's a cashew cake. So like, for me, me and people are always arguing because my problem is if you tell me it's a cashew cake, I taste it with that in mind. You tell me it's a cheesecake, I expect it to taste like a cheesecake. It doesn't. Then I feel like, what is this? So I feel like you have a better time introducing new things to people when they really know mentally what to expect. So that's what I try to do.
True.
Give people, real expectations.
Flavius, the pictures that you
Yes,
sent
sir.
me, are those some of the stuff that she do?
Yeah, man, that's some
Them look
Instagram.
tasty, man. Look tasty.
Thank you.
I
There's
can
a
tell.
burger. There's a burger thing I see on the table. What is that made up of?
Oh, the burger, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so as I was explaining, I do jerk chicken and jerk pork for sure on Fridays right now. But then I change up the menu all the time because just generally I'm an artist, so I have a hard time sticking to anything too much. So I always add something else so I don't get bored. So it was either last week or the week before we did the burgers with the homemade bread.
Yeah.
And then what I did was I put the bread in my Instagram story, so I showed people how to make it. And then I did a breakfast burger the next day. So the burger that I think you might be talking about is like, I did one with like a whole wheat and herb bun. And then rather than putting a sauce, we did the lactose-free cheese and egg. And then just did the burger like, so it's kind of like how McDonald's have like breakfast muffins, but like a breakfast burger.
Okay.
So like it's just a different concept because people always assume a burger is a lunch or a dinner thing. But just change it up, do it for breakfast.
Yeah.
But it was like hearty for breakfast because I mean like these burgers that I do, they're 6 ounces. So I didn't even eat in the whole thing, but it was just for fun and it was good.
Those muffins, what are they made from?
I have
Or cupcakes, whatever it is. Muffins or cupcake. It look more like I would say cupcakes.
Yeah, I have all sorts of different cupcakes and stuff that I make. I used to have a cupcake stand, so a lot of people call me Cupcake Queen and stuff. Like a lot of people know me for cupcakes.
So what's the ingredients that you put in the cupcakes?
Okay, well the difference between a muffin and a cupcake is that a muffin is a quick bread, and quick bread just basically is a bread that is not very well mixed, and it is it's risen by baking powder. Now, with the page, I had done some that, I don't know if you're looking at my page recently, you would see I had done some that were actual muffins, and there was like a coffee one, there was chocolate chip, there was like a strawberry jam, different ones. So basically that same quick bread recipe, you can make pancakes with that, and all of these real quick items, because it's basically the same recipe, but either you bake it in a muffin tin or you make pancakes with it. But then with the cupcake recipe is like small cakes. So the cupcakes that I make, I have all different types. Like, I'm going to do some chocolate ganache ones today. I do, all types. Lemon, coconut, all different types.
Okay.
And it's basically, but to me, like, I don't try to make them like healthy. Muffins, no, I would do like healthy ones. So we do like oatmeal, you could do different types of nuts, different types of spices you would put in there, or even like if you have vegetables that you juice, you can use the scraps from the juicer to make muffins, do like carrot, zucchini, just different healthy ones for the muffins, because they're usually more like breakfast type, whereas the cupcakes are usually like dessert. So for the dessert one, cupcake is just like, it's cake. So it's like chocolate, vanilla, lemon, coconut, cherry, strawberry, all different types of things.
All right, that's good. That's good.
How much do you use coconuts?
I think I use coconut a fair amount, but my thing is I don't like to have to grate coconut because I never have any time. So I like to use coconut milk powder. I don't know, have you ever used that product?
I've used it before.
But they have different brands. And I like to use the coconut milk powder. I find it's an easy way to add flavor to things without the water. Because if you buy coconut milk in a can, it has liquid. So then if you don't want the recipe to have liquid, it will mess you up. But if you want a coconut flavor, you can use the coconut powder. But I also use the like grated coconut as well. I would say coconut is an ingredient I use fairly often, and it's one of my favorite flavors for baking. But I think the thing about it is that like if you're looking to sell something, I always do original stuff, and a lot of people sell like coconut bread or coconut cakes and stuff like that. So it's not something that I necessarily sell a lot, but it is something that I use at home fairly often.
Okay. Okay, so is it so versatile? Yeah.
Yeah, man. You can't get stuck. That's the thing, you know.
So which recipe Which recipe you gonna put on the website?
I haven't decided what recipe I want to put on the website yet. I was thinking that I'll send you a couple. I have a book. Yeah, see, I have a book that I started writing a couple years ago, but I haven't finished it yet. But I was thinking to send you all like some Bajan recipes, not necessarily fully Barbadian, but Bajan style. Like I know you all do like codfish fritters. We do fish cake.
Ooh, so you're getting me hungry. Ooh, fritters.
Yeah. I was thinking to send you like a fish cake recipe with a dipping sauce. And, you know, but I haven't looked through the others to decide what else I'm going to send with it as yet.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's nice.
Do y'all cook at all?
Me, I cook. Flavius cook too.
Yeah.
Oh, both of us. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I cook.
That's good. Because I think that's another thing. I think young people nowadays don't cook. And cooking is a life skill, you know?
Yeah.
It's important.
It is also very enjoyable. It can be very enjoyable, and you know, like you say, it's an art. You know, like you use it doing different things, and you know.
Yeah, culinary art.
The young people should try and find out, you know, the enjoyment you can get from cooking. And I cook like how you talk. I don't cook for recipes, and I probably can't cook the same thing twice.
Yeah. I write the recipes down for things if I know that I'm going to sell it, so I can be consistent.
Yeah.
But at home, that's true. I don't really end up cooking the same thing twice because it's kind of like the TV show Chop. You know, they give you ingredients and you cook what you have. I do that all the time.
Oh, yes.
Because that's the easiest way to cook. So that's why I think it's important for people to understand cooking is a life skill, and also for people to connect with understanding what ingredients are, so that they can know how they can be used. Because sometimes you might have an ingredient, but you only know it one way. So then you might not use it if you're not doing that one way, but you didn't realize. Like the same thing we were saying about sweet potato. There's people that they'll be making stew. They don't have any English potato, and they would not put the sweet potato. They would go and buy English potato because they feel like they don't have what they need to make the thing. And I mean, yes, if you're making it specifically how somebody taught you for a reason, you can do that. But also you can just use what you have. You can use the breadfruit. You can put carrot this time. You can use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also then you don't get bored, because sometimes I think, especially with all that was going on, people were getting really bored at home eating their own food every day. And the reason why is because they're probably eating the same thing all the time. So you get rid of that boredom by mixing it up a little bit, you know, trying new things.
Absolutely. Well, Flavius.
If anybody's listening, that's what I hope they get from listening to me today. Try new things.
That's it in a nutshell right there. Selena Dodson.
Do you do much with fish?
With fish?
I know Barbara is full of fish.
I do a lot of stuff with fish, you know, and my dad, he used to fish, and he really likes snappers a lot. But my thing about it is I don't fish. So
we're not going to take everything away from you today. We need her to come back, Flavius. So.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, we need her to come back. So we're gonna end it there.
No problem.
With the real Caribbean cooking with Miss Selena Dodson. I say your name right, Dodson.
Yes, that's correct. A lot of people know me as Chef Glam because my artist name is Rebel Glam, and I used to have a TV show called Rebel Glam's Kitchen. So if you want to find me, you can find me on Chef Glam's Food, GLAM, like glamorous glam, on Instagram.
We're gonna check out the artistic side as well, because we're gonna want it to come back and so we can hear more and know more about your poetry and your art. Is it art?
I do art too. Yeah.
Okay, we wanna hear more about you because you're a very versatile woman, a mother, and also a very versatile individual as well. So, thank you very much for being on our podcast, for taking time out of your busy schedule and for being here with us.
No problem.
So take care of yourself, the family, and give them our love. All right, thanks.
All right, blessings.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. You just heard from Miss Selena Dodson. And Flavius, I'm looking at those food on the screen as it flashed past me. And I see the salad and I'm in love with the salad there, man. And then the cupcake. All kind of tasty food is there. So you can check out.
When we get the recipes, we can try some of them out,
Oh yeah. The recipe will be available on our website by when? Tomorrow? Or by
Thursday.
By Thursday. The recipe.
Yeah, on or before Thursday.
On or before Thursday. Well, we're gonna go into things because the next thing we have coming up is our chat session. And the artist in the chat session room today is none other than Mr. Craig Edeast. And we don't want to fool you. We're not going to fool you. We're not going to deceive you. We're going to give you the real thing. Because this was a pre-recording. Flavius and I sat down and had a pre-recording with the artist Craig Edeast. So we're just going to go straight into it. So sit back, relax with your favorite drink, your favorite smoke, and enjoy. If you're out there protesting and today you're resting, come on. Tune in to the Real Stuff Podcast. You'll be glad you did.
Just don't be a fool, fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves, take control and flow. I know when I see you pop down, I know when I see you get hurt. Let me tell you, Vicky, them you youth are tricky. Them you use it and dump you like it's by your ticket. No care you're pretty, should I know it cause you grow up in the inner city. Them no show no pity, them we use you fi take care of them life of a celebrity. Now few out there with the ability can take care of you, make you feel so happy. Alright then, just don't be a fool, fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves, take control and flow. I know when I see you pop down, I know when I see you get hurt. I know you got a lot of courage. From your let him in your life, I know what be worries. Him no care, him no business, him no know what love is. With a waste guy, you a waste time. I remember when you used to flourish. From you take him everything and perish. Run a joke, say you're broke, if the guy no vanish. With him empty promise, independent habit. Just don't be a fool, fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves, take control and flow. I know when I see you pop down, I know when I see you get hurt. put us on quarantine. So we see if it is not guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine. We see if it is not guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Sight them from a distance. Them oppose, them a shake and them want control population. Them have a plan in hand for the next generation. Have them stationed. The won't be here for too long. I know you have the cure, but yet you're gonna kill some more. You want your plan for work for sure. Them say, turn on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine. So we see if it is not guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine. I know want to want your baby love. I need you in my heart. I said I need you, baby. I never run short. I have an affection for you. Always in my heart. I said I want your booty. I need your body. And I'm gonna live if I don't get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby.
Yes, my people. We have with us none other than the artist out what them call it with Belly and Town, the one and only Craig Edeast. How you doing, artist?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm here giving thanks, for life and everything,
Glad to know
yes,
that.
Sir.
Glad to know that.
Yes, sir.
So I know I know this is what we call it a chat session, and as always, we want your fans and the new ones them that you're going to gain for hear how your story really come about musically and all other part, all other aspect of your life. We can fill in the puzzle pieces piece by piece. So as always,
yes, no
just
problem.
relax and enjoy. We have music where we have for you. We're going to play Need You Baby. And one of them called Journey, Quarantine, and Fool for Love. So we know he's a versatile artist, both love, inspirational, and what we call it, poetical. Yes, so how is everything otherwise? How the family doing?
Well, the family good, going through a time like now. You have to make sure it's everything in hard as you cope with the time.
True.
But they are coping with the whole thing,
Yeah, man, I'm glad to
everything
hear
good.
that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I want to hear. So everybody all right. Before we jump right into it now, tell me about your musical career. How it all started?
Well, my musical career started, I would want to say, it not start in a studio or around a sound or whatever. It start from a gully side. Like you that hear Movado sing about the gully side. Also in my community, Church Corner, where I am, still is. We have a gully run through the community. Because it's a ghetto community,
True.
Also ghetto. Yes, so we have this brethren, we call him Prof. And this brethren now him have a little tape. Because in them time there, it's like if a man have all a tape recorder, ones that just gather around. Because them thing they're rare in the community. So every Sunday now him run a aisle truck, him rep on a aisle truck, and every Sunday him be off. That does carry him tape come out the door and cassette like Trouble, Stereo 1, Stereograph, all kind of cassette. And him have some rhythms to one them thing there. So we as youth would have did know 9, 10, would have hear the music I play and the artists them a DJ, cause in them time they are mostly DJ run things run sound system. So we would hear the artist a DJ on the sound and get inspired, So that is how I get inspired and say, yo, at this I want to come do, because I stand up in love with it so much that I say, yo, say, At this I want come do, and music I want come sing. You know, and from then now we start from the gully side, we there and what may I tell you? You have youth that can do a lot of things, you know. You hear youth play all rhythm out of their mouth. And sound like they live.
Yeah.
You know what?
No man, I true because them back in the days, we used to listen to some youth on a street corner when we the right now in the US, and them used to say this are the sound where the rappers them used to make in the days. Them call it beat bop with them mouth and all kind of different sound. So me understand the part there. You know, me understand the part there. Yeah, man. Continue.
So I would say, alright, that's why the whole thing starts from, you know, get in love with it there, and then now we as youth now we start play with sound system out our mouth at daytime with up on the gully side, and we start clash each other and I say, you know, approve ourselves to each other, man.
Yeah.
Couple of them bridging them, you know, and from then the rest of history, you know, I started singing around sound system now. You know? I don't know if you hear about this great sound named King Majesty. You know?
Majesty, no.
Yes, I eat early B and Super Cat them and them artists there.
Okay.
They come through fan.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so after them ones they pass through the sound out there, play up on the street side, the virgin of a bar. And pass away now, King Majesty, blessed. You know, and would I go out there on weekends and you know, I listen to the bigger guys them, cause I have some of my bridging them now, the DJs them where them are elder ones say So I would have didn't know as a practice, but I want to tell you say I was so sharp that it not take me no time to get alongside them ones there, you know. And it go on till 96 now. I do my first recording. A song named What a Story.
What a what?
That is another history again.
What a
story now.
What a story.
What a story.
How what age that was? How what age I was? So you lick that.
I was about 96.
Oh, that was the year 96.
Yeah, in my teens.
Okay.
I'm going in my 20s, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm in my teens them time there. You know, about 17, 18 them time there. I don't quite remember. I would have to check. But What a Story was my first recording. We got to Penthouse. I want to get the history it happened to because...
One man, because I know the people that want to hear.
For real. You know, it's, you usually have this thing we call ghetto splash. You're supposed to know
yeah, man, me know about ghetto splash. Yeah, me know the ghetto splash. Yeah.
So, as a youth now, this ghetto splash are going in the community. And you have this virgin called Real. I'm always down there and I'm always him fly out from foreign. He's a foreigner. We call him Real. And him fly in the place. So one night now, them invite him to come at the ghetto bash. And him forward. And me happen to a DJ now. And him come on and hear the whole vibration and love it. And when I talk What a Story. What a Story is really a bashment song still, you know. I don't even want to talk about it too much that side.
Why?
You know? I could
why?
You know they want that they're ready for rush and do something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they're ready for that. Yeah, I know. And no, can't take no more weight by shoulder. So
all right.
When you hear the song now, I'm in love with the song, my brethren. And say, all right, you ever done any recordings yet and so forth, and that's what I'm saying. I don't have any of them experience there, you know. And same time now that my brethren did them and empire, that a culture that. But I have the interview with the other day.
Yeah.
You know, me and him a music sparring partner.
Okay.
You know, I think sparring and we kind of split up on them thing there. him go away and stuff. But I'm a brethren, we are apart from long. And he was like a elder for I. And brethren I said, John, no, him want to do some recording time, love where my ear. Because Culture did I did and a couple of the artists, Lou Shung, big respect, I Lou right now. Yeah. And him take me to the studio and I saw what a story come about. And I tell you that song was a song that do well for me in that time. Yeah, because I remember round and about Buju Bantan came out and did I go on well in them time that one. Them put on a stage show in a center mass here. It was Lease Unlimited too, another late grade.
Yeah, me hear about Lease Unlimited.
Hear about Lease Unlimited.
Yeah, man, me hear about Lease Unlimited. Me hear about Lease Unlimited.
Yeah, man, and when Buju in prime, him carry Buju up here, me I tell you, man. And have me as one of the actor, Buju as the headliner.
Okay, so no mash it down.
I want to tell you, say most ones remember that night. Every time, most time them see me and them remember me about, remind me about music. They always, you know, relate to that stage show there, you know. And it go on and on and on from there, you know, performing several places becomes one of the parish, you know. Vibrant artists coming up, you know, because one of the things with I in a them time there, the music the day at a level, and then I know come get a difference within the parish, within the whole center mass range.
Yeah.
I come change the music from the particular one drop style where them usually on like the super cat early beat style and take it to a different level.
Sure.
You know? So it bring me a lot of recognition within the parish. I never really get the big break as I would want it from them time they still. But still give thanks, you know?
Yeah, man. Every little make a muckle, that's what them say. Every nickel make a muckle. The little bit where you have it will build up.
Yes, until this day, you know?
Yeah, man. But your musical journey, I know says a story, like the song where you say story time. And
yeah,
it's funny how you mention culture doctor, because in his story also he mentioned the eye.
Yes,
and some more artists, and he had said to me, boy Franco, but I love you talk to all of them youth here, because the whole of we have a story and everybody's story different. But at the same, you know, journey where we're upon, you know, a musical accomplishment.
Yes, sir.
It made me wonder when go on through.
Yeah, because you see, culture can't say that, you know, and I'm right about that, because, you know, when we are forward up, we have like about a dozen of us where we have real talent. That could be on the big stage out there, you know?
Yeah.
And I tell you, say, because of all the music situation from then until this time, it don't change to include and support artists with talent to the next level, you know? Yeah. And it end enough for I and I from reaching the next level, you know?
True.
And most of I and I then have to go do something else to make a way out, you know, and that is what gets culture himself you know, other ones, you know.
Yeah, because
Governor Beach and then they have to fly out.
Yeah, because when it could be a culture story where him say, boy, he used to hustle by selling belts and all them thing there. And you know, everybody have a different 9 to 5. You understand?
Yeah.
Every man have a different 9 to 5. It made me wonder about the song where you sent to I named Journey. How a role that play in your career? Is it a part of this Journey song? Is it a part of where the I go through?
Definitely, you know, Journey is a song I tell it like I and I tell a story about myself, but still remind them say, yo, life on a better road, especially when your background is so up there.
Okay.
You know, so never give up the fight. You know. You know, just continue to do what you're doing and love what you're doing and proceed.
Absolutely.
Because I know it's a big break, but I still hold it and I say, it's there to say I see him way, because I know where I have in the eye, and the world ready and waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a true telling. Journey is a really a true telling.
Well, me go play it for the people that can hear. Journey.
Yes, sir.
From Craig Edeast. And that are your artist name where you go by? Craig Edeast?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Craig Edeast.
All right, Craig Edeast. So, my people, Journey by the artist himself, Craig Edeast.
The ones who are grow it tell me this. Life is a test, learn as much from it. Don't get lost in the wilderness. Crows out there, them will eat your flesh. Oh yes. Oh yes. To all the ones, you know. When you see a youth sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we ya tell him say no give up. The one them will fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing, we precious. Them one we life is so hard than a citrus. Them say that we suspicious, through them say waiting and live up. Them too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going out. Don't let the struggle in this time get you down. Pick up yourself from off of the ground. Life is an ocean, learn to swim or you drown. You live and you learn, you better be firm. Fight, fight, fight. Do what is right, keep your goals from inside. Stick to the ones that you hold the same height. Wise mind think alike, the future is bright. It's sticky out there, yes it's tricky out there. Someone said them care, but them don't even want share. Them treat me unfair, and that make me cry tears. Cry, cry, When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going out. When you see a youth sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we ya tell him say no give up. The one them a fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing, we precious. Them one we life is so hard than a citrus. Them say that we suspicious, through them say waiting and live up. Them too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down, just tell me you won't. Stand up to the count, you're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them
Yes, my people. Journey from the artist Craig Edeast. You know, listening to them song, and from the beginning, from the first time I heard the music, Quarantine, and the one where say Fool for Love. Them two songs, both songs. I said to you, I'm gonna say it to the people that want to listen now. How comes the sound, the studio sounds, the quality of it sounds so crystal clear. Yeah, and the voice. I mean, I would have said that I get voice training growing up.
No, sir, no, my bridges.
It's just an art, the art, the craft, the eye. Oh, true.
I want to tell us, I come out of a family of singers, you know. You say Bushman.
Yeah.
Bushman, I family.
Good.
The Lake and the Brown, are two family that run the church choir. You know, I never come sing up in a church still, but I grew up and come to my old lady and them sisters them and Bushy side of family them. I sing. Lovely, you know.
Good voices, man. Good voices. Yeah, man. Good voice, guys. I last year I had the pleasure of taking in Bushman live and direct at the concert to them. Last week would have be the 14th annual Best of the Best by Bayfront Park, and Bushman was there last year. And trust me, same way the man sound pan him record, same way him sound live in concert.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I listen to the high voice, and you know, I know you do it, and it sound mellow for you, man. Sound mellow.
Give thanks, you know.
Sound mellow. And this is something me and you discuss already. The studio, yes, you know, everything crystal clear.
Yeah, and I want to send a shout out to Dean Record. You know, him are the one that provide the quality within him studio, you know. And I want to applaud him for it, because if you're going to that youth studio and you that thing say what you're hearing now, you that feel says a big pretty studio with all the equipment, you know.
And that me I think too. That me I think, yeah, man, because the quality is crystal clear. Like the man I use some Bose speaker, and then I use Pro Tool, or you know, something like that.
You know, that's a little setting still, but the thing about it, he might come learn that from to as a youth, because a little 20s youth. I mean, I'm about 23, 24 this year.
Okay.
You know?
Oh,
but
young
the thing
man,
about
young
it,
kid.
Yeah, young youth. And him do it from him around 14, 15 and come up.
Whoa.
You know, see it. So him growing it, and him grow to understand the sound, you know, the digital system. You know? And that's the thing where I think where him growing it all I'm time coming up, he kind of catch the feel of it at the whole thing, so him can use, because really I know this big studio, the whole equipment, you know, I just the thing them that they're within the whole thing where you have to touch and balance and get together.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I think him have a gift for that, you know.
It's good for you when good music come out, you know, we know Jamaica is a very talented country. The people, them, very talented, musically, you know, athletically, and everything that like today somebody sent me a song of a young female artist I sing, and I always say it's been a while I haven't heard no singers that come out of Jamaica. Everybody want DJ, you know. And see the eye sing, it's an honor, because we know that their singers will be around. So, coach, is the same thing where Willie that said the other day, right? When he was saying musicians need to start getting to the schools, the government for paying musicians for going to the schools and teach the students them about music, about how to write it on the music sheet, and also be players of instruments.
How to read it, yeah?
Yeah, or to read it and write it and be players of instruments. And the quality is not there that much. And for the eyes, you know, them have a studio and I do this work professionally. This is a professional work in a bass. Because I've heard guys, I said, why is a bridging down the road have a little studio? And you can really...
Where's the studio? Where's the studio? This studio is here in Maran Bay, St. Thomas, you know.
Okay.
Okay. In a little community called Springfield, you know. Okay.
It's good, man. It's good.
It's quality of the work, man.
It will go far.
because I want to tell you, I want to tell you, say, none of those songs are songs that mix, to say, quote unquote, really mix and master. That you get. It's just like rough mixing, you know? You there?
I'm still here. Yeah, man, I'm still here. I'm still here, Craig.
Yes, yeah. So I say, you know, hats up to Dean and what he's doing, because these songs are not songs that mixed and mastered as yet.
Yeah, man,
you
big
know?
up every time, Dino. Big up every time.
Yes, sir.
So, make we go more away from your music now and into your lifestyle, because I know the man is a what do I call it? A spiritualist, a earthless, a naturalist, a Rasta man.
Yes, sir.
Everything in one, right? So,
yes, sir.
Cause it reflects in the songs them, you know. It reflects in your song them.
Yes, sir.
So we can see that. But day to day, how you survive?
I survive as a survivor. You know?
True.
First and foremost, because you see, but where I and I are forward from is a journey. And it's a journey where I not see the best of nothing. You know, or the best of anything. No, you know?
Yeah.
Everything limited to I. You know? And I'm talking just even education was limited. You know, food, clothes, everything was limited. You know, and I able to reach this age in this time, you know, still surviving. And I have to give thanks to that. You know? You know, but the journey is one to tell. And as I say, I give thanks to where I'm at now, and I'm able to help myself through other areas away from music. I operate a mobile vegetarian, vegan breakfast meal.
Wow.
Where I do the porridge and fried dumplings and vegetables and stuff like that, and natural juice, you know.
Flavor said it too far, you can't get none of that. The way, you know, Flavius, you're too far to get some of this natural food. Even me, the far too. So, and this is something what you do. This is something what you do every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do it from Monday to Saturdays.
Whoa, enough work. That, you know, that coming like is a restaurant business, enough work. I mean, used to work. I mean, understand that enough work. And worse.
I want to tell you. I have to rise up from 4 in the morning each day, you know, and start preparation, you know, and then take it out on the road, because I do it at the home base, and then I pack my mobile.
Okay.
Yeah. And then head off on the street, you know. So I would have out there until midday, 12, 1 o'clock, you know. And then after that, now I would just put the other part of the day into the music. That's how I operate.
Okay.
But it's really a challenge, you know, and I have to be on my toes, you know.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when we look on it and say some of the artists, them when them grow up and you hear them say them spend the whole day at studio and them can't get through because the gate man don't want to let them in. Me hear artists say that when they used to go at some of them big studio there, you know, and
yes, I go through them thing there too.
You go through that too.
Yeah, man, a lot.
Me understand, and you spend the whole day at studio, the gate man don't want to, and you don't even get for the lay down a track. But you keep going because of the love of the music until when you get your chance. You how many albums have you done so far? Are you working on any albums now?
Well, currently I am working on an album for a Voltage Record Production.
Yeah.
And big respect to Cole himself, Cole Campbell. Big up yourself. And we are about halfway through that album, you know. And I've other recordings round and about because you see, I know as an artist in St. Thomas, I would have been like a veteran to the youths them where I come up.
Okay.
And most youth in a St. Thomas, you have 3 particular studio. Dean of the Dean Record, Elite Generation, and you have Fly the Wise. To name a few. And all of those studios are studios that I record in and have multiple amount of songs in.
In all 3 of them? In all 3 of them?
Yeah, in all 3 of them.
Wow. But you like Dino the best though? I put
Dino the most of my work with.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have said that. I would have said that because the affiliation, it come like I am like a mentor to Dino and watch him coming up. And listen to I because I go there, I go there and go get that experience,
Oh yeah.
I go through the hands of Steely and Cleavy, you know.
Hold on, man. So you understand when I say out of the gate and the gate man let you in because at the same studio with Steely and Cleavy did there, man. It's a man me here I said a jamming studio right at the time. And he must say, boy, you know much night, you know much day me sit down outside of the gate and the gate man now let me in because the big artists them inside a voice.
Yes, sir.
And the artists they know well is a DJ. He might want to Jamaica biggest DJ because they may have a DJ run off the other night. He man wait name the Beanie Man.
Man, yeah.
I was born to kill a set. You know?
Yes, sir.
So now that you just bring it up, Steely and Cleavy, you know you understand what I say, yeah, a true thing. And so the album now, go on. Go through.
I just want to give a piece with Steely and Cleavy when I first meet.
Let me hear it. Because I meet him already too.
Because I did in a group called Ancient, 4 of us.
Ancient?
And we record a song named I Don't Know. They Don't Know.
They Don't Know, okay.
And the title. And it happens that Steely get the song to mix. So when Steely get the song now, Steely in love with the song that him mention say would want me, I and I. The group.
Yeah.
You know? And I want to tell you say a little man there at the studio and hear the whole vibration and link we and say, you know, say this man want me behind the man and so on. We say, what? Alright, we have to go link him then because you know still them a giant in the business.
Yeah, big names.
Yeah. And one day you know, 2 of us always we coming like the road man to the group, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And the 2 of us go on there and we knock him up on him, let we in and we come on and see him sit down on that tree with some other ones and that question we up now ask you who he is and we are about and we are showing say we are ancient and we have passed through we have the music and we need help and them stuff there. I say, yo, no man no come here so come tell me so them artists and them this and that and really, you know. From your artist you have to sing. Yeah. I'm a brethren, we look for my brethren, I'm a brethren, look for me. But I always lead a part there in the group at the time, you know?
True.
And him, but we know him is a dancehall man, no I can DJ. I take it on, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to pour away and it's a group and them way this, you know? So when I start, man, and them say, alright, go on, and then him stop me in the middle light and say, all right, don't go no further, don't go no further. Everything good. And the rest of history, we recorded a couple songs for him and right at the time him drop out and the whole thing just get messed up.
Whoa.
You know, see it.
Another setback, right?
This messed up till the group. Yeah, the group get frustrated and we split up. Yeah. You know? But I love for music now. Yes, I?
No, man, I mean, see, man, am I virgin in the background? Remember him there Jamaica like you too, you know. Him there, him there, him move around now, most. But in my ear still. Yeah.
Alright, my brother.
We are going to talk. I'm going to ask you a question. We are going to talk.
Yes, right. You know? So after stealing Drop Flesh with we have about 8 or so songs on there, so we have put an album together and the whole thing, you know, we just get frustrated and everyone decides it. So we have, you know, we are going to separate ways, you know, but I love for music, you know, I just never stop this so because I tell myself, music is what I want to do, you know.
Now your blood, man.
You know, so I never stop from there and I want to tell us, say, until this day, you know, you can come to I and say, yo, my brethren, I listen to you from a long time, and you're still up there among the newcomers, them same way, and you still sound relevant and thing. And them think they even give I more drive to go on and deal with it, you know, because, you know, I remember the days. So if you come from out of the 90s, you know?
Yeah, man, the 90s.
And with the 2020, you know, and I still carry a sound with I and still sound relevant and a beat. You know, it goes to show, you know?
Yeah, man, true, man, true. It was amazing when I get this song. Well, me have it as Quarantine. I don't know exactly if it have another name to it. But
that's the name for it, man.
Alright. But when I get the song, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I mean, I say, wish you this, I wish look at you this. And the man said, nah, he's a big man. Man have a youthful voice. And then the video part of it with the guy in it was a youth. Call him a big youth still. But the voice, I would say you're an artist of many different voices.
Yeah, you can't say that for real because you're going to hear some track where, you know, I tell you.
Because this one in the Quarantine sound like a younger person. You know?
Real.
More like with Journey, you know, Journey is like somebody really nice and, you know, make him know, say, yes, I hit this. So he's a versatile artist and that's sure how much you know your craft. You know?
Yes, right.
I love that from an artist. I've been around a good portion of artists and the best out of all of them was Dennis Brown. You understand?
Yes, right.
And I really, I catch the latter part time again before him pass off. And those times were just, what you call it, musical stories.
Yeah.
But he did something in the studio that day, a little bit before we have the 92 hurricane in Miami. He did something that day. Him hear a rhythm, him come in at the studio and him hear a rhythm. And the engineer was an engineer named Carl Peterson, one of the best. The engineer who worked on the Bob Marley album, Exodus. And him say, Carl, I want a voice on the rhythm here, you know. And Carl said, go in the booth. And them go in the booth and the man sing pan the track. And then when him finish, him ask me for pen and paper. And him write out the song. And it was a bit orthodox for me. I'm like, I've never seen nobody do that yet. Them always write out the song first. And me go straight to the engineer. Me never bother interrupt him. I said, Carl, What Dennis I do? Him sing the song first and know him I write it out. You remember everything when him lay down on the track? And him say, trust me, man. You remember the only thing we're going to do now is just, put some voice on it and thing, and fix it up. I was amazed. You understand me? Amazed. But the day when him do that song, you could hear the different voice. Or him do it, because when him do him lay the track and then do the voice over, like the harmony, total different voice again, and I'm like, damn. So somebody in the business long, them voice change according to the rhythm and according to the feeling of the song or the feeling of the rhythm.
Yes, sir.
And you are one of that because me hear it in this. You just send me this track not too long. Need your baby,
Yeah.
and me just go play it and make the people them hear it. Need you baby by the artist Craig Edeast. Because the last name Edeast, is like is a what do we call it, a prolific name. Craig Edeast.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Real man.
All right. Need you, baby.
Hey, girl. You know, a long time I see this you do. I don't do. You're not eat the words. I said that I need you, baby. I'm a run shop. I have an affection for you. Always in my heart. I said I want you goodie. I need a body. And I gotta live in front of get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run shop. I have an affection for you. You keep a carry on, so want you goodie. I need a body, and I gotta let that fun get you one day in my arms. It ain't a bug amount, and a junk. Woman, I know I'm destined to tear you apart. You always in on my dream, always in on my thoughts. Keep it long, you know you're ramped up in on my heart. But you I look so simple when I text it up me soft. I just a play foolish woman to get smart. You know so that things it different from once. I know I want your baby love, I need you in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run shop, I have an affection for you. Always in my heart. I said I want your booty, I need a body, and I gotta live it fun to get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run shop, I have an affection for you. You keep a carry on. I said I want your booty, I need a body, and I gotta live it fun to get you one day in my arms. And I know the East love you from we are chick with it commit. Want to tell you in a man and never understand it. Every time I make you say something, my tongue start twist. Mouth and front like somebody have this.
Yes, sir.
More time you ignore me, make me feel.
Yes, indeed. The artist Craig Edeast. Yes, sir. This song have a 90s feel,
Yeah, man. I want to tell you, say, alright, you see that song, yeah? I'm coming at the 90s. You're so correct.
Oh my gosh.
I wanna hype big song this in the 90s. Anyway, me go and DJ this song.
Why you think you don't want to say it? You don't want to say it?
Yes,
it
sir.
have a super cat touch like is a super cat you are the wild party and yes,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You hear the 90s relevant too, man.
Yes, the connection is there.
But I want listen me now with this track now. Our record this song now with this virgin. He was doing some work for me. Setting up something on his computer and go on there. He always tell me, say, yo, come on my studio, man. We have some nice rhythm and go on voice because me hear your sounds and, and I go on there and he start play some track now and I hear the track they are play and I say, yo, normally me a man not really just, me not in the condition now to really hear a rhythm and just go do a song like you, that's a deep down did. So this song now comes to mind.
Yeah.
I start vibe the rhythm now and I hear that song on it, so that's how this song gets record, But I want to tell you, say, no, this album now go sound like a 90s album.
True.
This album is a late album and I want to tell you, say, I look forward to this album because it has a lot of things within it, especially what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get Quarantine and this album either, because Quarantine is for someone different. Okay, you know, but you have to have songs that are even more powerful than Quarantine on it. You know?
I understand.
Yeah, man.
I understand. But I could have feel the 90s vibes in it. You know?
Yes, I have enough of them songs there, so enough of them songs there and still going. You know? Because I want to do a 90s album for myself.
Yeah,
when I settle down and start producing myself, all of those songs from them time there, you know, I have to get them together same way and record the album.
Throughout the journey, artists, have you ever feel like, say, you know what, this is it, I'm going to give up? You ever reach that point yet? Because I reach a point there sometime in this little business. I said, sure, I'm done with this radio thing. Yeah.
I mean, ask the man, only for that I got you, man, because one of the time, even when the music start change now, and you are turn elder, and that kind of dash a little negative vibes for you more time, you know? Yeah, you know, you see the youth, them are come now and the genre change, and then when you go a student now, like, you know, them producer nowadays, them not have no mind for the music so much, you know, them just want catch and dash. So them a look for...
Catch and dash.
Yeah.
Catch and dash, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not joke.
Yeah, well, not true.
So when you as a veteran artist going on studio, you know, them listen and them smile and say you sound good, but not more from that.
Yeah.
You know, see it. So one of the time I say, you know, I bet I just go and watch it, yeah, man. You know? But I say the love I come up for music now, I am not an artist who depend on them only for 90s song there, early 2000 song there where I did have. You know? I always keep myself relevant, so I always writing, I always have tracks listening, and as I say, I love studio music. I'm my first choice. I love it to my heart. It is like my wife. I always said, nothing music never let I down. Everything else will let I down, not music. Anytime I in this fears sad other music I turn to music with everything to I and I.
You have to leave music. Music never leave you. You have to leave music. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, man, ask because
there are times there when I feel like you know, I eat this, you know.
Yeah, man. That's why I ask you the question, you know, because I have a brethren and him reach up there, but we hear him sound right now. You think, so boy, you listen to a 22-year-old youth and him have the joy for the music, and them man used to go to the studio like you too. Him get a little buzz back in the 80s, 90s. But when you listen to the lyrics come out of the man, I call him the lyrical boombox. You hear me? Lyrical boombox. And him said to me, Franco, all when my wall, me still a sing. Cause them, the nowadays you can put out your music and no one don't know how old you is. Cause age don't play nothing right, you know. See?
Age don't play nothing.
No.
And I want to tell my virgin. One of the virgin where I can read it that in I and I is a group from over Portland called Jolly Boys.
Okay.
Jolly Boys, when Jolly Boys boss most of the man them in them 60s man and 70s man until this day.
You know them flavors?
Like, yeah man, who was Jolly Boys man? Bad man.
You see?
Them long time merengue singer man.
Okay.
Yeah man.
Yeah man. So.
Yeah man. Them time I sing on them, but you have this big company named G Jams from some white brethren come reside over Portland there and hear them.
Okay.
And I think I have all them album, you know.
Yeah.
Alright. You go look and send some to you, like a little to it. Man. Yeah man, they mash up the world one at the time, man.
So tell you, the age not playing nothing right now nowadays, man.
Yeah man.
Cause the music transcend now, you know. Everybody
Yes,
listen to music of all ages. It's just the young youth them are do what the word we use that catch and dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, the young youth them are deal with it, you know. And it's so funny. The engineer them when in a studio with them should have know better than that, but everybody look a quick boss.
Yeah.
You know?
Funny. Yeah. All right. Listen, me. You see how the music set up now. The music have a part. It have two parts to it. You have the fast lane music. But that is what everyone wants to get into because you can just and you get some of your whole vibes and you collect some fast cash, you do some fast show, you do everything fast. But after if you're not relevant or if you not have the stamina, in a 2 or 3 year time, you have to start over again if you break fast. You understand?
True, yeah.
I have an next music now. That's the Sambone music now. It's not so much relevant to everyone, but it have its marketplace and people still listen it and stuff like that. That is the reggae dance, the reggae itself, part side of it. You know, or even dancehall where on a cultural level, you know, and that is the type of music where I do, you know. Music, because I love dancehall music. I grew up in the dancehall era. You know? In the 90s dancehall. I love dancehall. I never stop the dancehall. But I say I now break the rules of dancehall because dancehall was not to big up what they call insanity and violence and them things. The dancehall was to trample insanity and young and violence and all of them things then, and to protect yourself and defend yourself and ask for your rights and choose and right and just. That's a reggae dance style earlier.
Exactly.
No, it changed drastically.
It have too much profanity in it now.
It is like it take a
yeah, too much profanity. And it glorify too much vanity as well. You know, it reach. Well, maybe that's why it gone off of the cliff.
Right.
Yeah, it gone. It run itself off of the cliff. As somebody said, the best of it they seen the other night was the little versus between Bounty and Beanie, you know, but...
All right. And I show a virgin say, listen me, you see them youth who do music today, the ones them where listen to them now, 20 years from now go listen to them and the same bunch of them I go and listen to and being it and some other music because this music you don't have no life in it. They stand up. Yeah, it's better you say it. A young youth.
It's an artist, I say it. Let me tell you this to the artist. When radio people say it, you know, them come down pan we hard, you know, cause them say we are help kill the music. But me know, yeah. Some artists say that because
Alright, what may I say? You say nothing wrong with what I call it evolvement, you know. Like things have to evolve and the music have to evolve as well.
True.
But the content of the music, the musical part of it weaker and the lyrical content weaker.
Yeah, we just said
you understand?
Content.
And it should be so. And
people must judge your music by the content and not by the rhythm where they hear. Huh?
I can tell you that 50 years
yeah, broke up in the flavors. Yeah, break up. Yeah, take time to me.
60 years from now, 100 years from now, people still be listening to stories and they're wrong. Don't matter what's wrong. Because them music get do for life.
Yeah, yes, sir. Have substance.
You can't do music and it asks you 6 months. You know?
Remember, back in them days there, those artists had musicians and they had lyrics, so that have a musical content. So it will hold up. You just see, it's similar to a man. You want a man to judge you by the content of your character, and not by way you look upon, by just your appearance. He must judge you by the content of your character. And the same thing goes for music. If you judge the music by the content of the lyrics, not just by the rhythm alone.
About the music. All right. When you young, you kind of open up.
True.
Then to say,
yeah.
So you'd let in every little thing. But you see, after I grew up on a son elder now, you now go want let in everything, and I want that everything again,
No.
You understand?
You choose what you want, no, yeah.
Yeah, because you grew, you mature, you overstand life more. So that's why I say, the music that was there and still is, from them time there, I was still relevant among all ages, because the music they have to all ages. You understand?
Yeah.
And the one them where they set up to make the free cash, the fast cash. And most of them artists are the fast cash music them I do.
I've been going to studios right now, but at present, how many singers have you come across in the studios? Are there a lot? Are just a handful? I have just maybe one and two, but most of them is like a DJ. Nothing is wrong with DJ, but I talk about singers. And the reason why I say singers, because to me, the last set of singers were left now in the reggae music business in Jamaica. It's like Lucy, Bushman, Jack Cure, who else?
Yeah. The real kind of singer them.
Yeah. Because them have message in them music. Give and take, them have message in them music. And I see some female coming up. I see some females coming up where I like, which is what's your name? Leela Ikea. Savina. Naomi Cowan. And the next one named Jazz Elise. Those young ladies are singing. And them are sing about content, things around them. You understand me? When it is love, them all of them have some nice love songs, and them have some nice poetic songs. People can relate to it. People relate to the songs them. I say, whoa, I mean at that position and thing like that. That's why I ask you the question. As I said, I have nothing against a DJ. DJ is good because sometimes you will do collab with a DJ. But through me, I hear so much DJ right now. I bust out of Jamaica. Every music right now me hear from a male artist, a DJ. Exactly, it's DJ. So that's why I ask you the question. How many singers you see when you're going at the studios them that you have recorded in?
Hard to find singers in a nowadays studio. Them nowadays studio, because the influence of the music, it depends on, alright. It merged between singer and DJ, hardcore DJ, the authentic singing there. So it becomes sing here. So when most youth will come up here now, our females want to do is sing G. So the heaviness on the DJ side and that extra smoothness upon the singer becomes together. That is the music now. So when I go into studio, I find most of the youth them now, even myself, because I'm a youth from the 90s where I've seen a DJ style I come with from long time. If you hear Need Your Baby, you can put the ear tonight. You understand? But it becomes relevant recently to Sizzla Colonchi.
Yeah.
And then some other ones where come highlight it even more today. But alright, that's it there right now. But the thing you can still say, the authentic singing have a place and need it grown now to forward. So you when you hear like a Lila Ike, you say, it bring you forward to that vibration, the Sanchez. singing melody them youth and other ones.
Alright. So the album that you're working on, how many tracks you have on it?
I want to put at least 12 tracks on it.
12 tracks.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, between 10 and 12. I don't want to load it. You know, I just want something lovely and spicy.
Yeah.
With that, you know.
Now when is the release? When you plan for release that?
I had a thing about the summer year coming.
Okay.
Still feel like we are gonna have a little delay on it same way because to do good music it don't need rush and that was one of the things me and the Virgin did that talk about not too long. That we have to just take with time and when the meditation arrive.
Hey, this summer gonna be a long summer, my youth. And then a long summer we don't know where I go. Yeah. So even if you
hear my Virgin say we are do the album. Him say, yo, you know what? In this time, you know what the people them want. Them people them want music. Them say music, they don't want nothing else more than music. So now what you are going, just do the music. So he come like him kinda you know?
Yeah man, him right. Him right.
Yes, sir.
And I said the summer gonna be a long summer because it start already now. Officially, when it reach some time of the year, me worried because me worried because hurricane season start and we spot me there in another little state, yeah, open up. Well, we lost our guest, so we're gonna play one more of his track. And then we're gonna come back in with the artist himself.
Alright, you know girl. Hey girl. You know a long time I see this to you do. I know you. You're not easy to the words. I said that I need you, baby. I'm a run show, my love and affection for you. Always in my heart. I said I want you goodie. I need a body. And I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run show, my love and affection for you. It keep a carry on. So want you goodie. I need a body. And I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. It ain't a bug of mouth. I'm not joke. Woman, I know I'm destined to tear you apart. You always in on me dream. Always in on me thoughts. Keep it love, you know you're ramped up in on the heart. But you might look so simple. When you text and not me soft. I just a play foolish woman to get smart. You know so that things it different from once. I know I want your baby love. I need you in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run short. My love and affection for you. Always in my heart. I said I want your booty. I need a body. And I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby. I'm a run short. My love and affection for you. It keep a carry on. I said I want your booty. I need a body. And I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. And I know the East love you from where chick with it could be. Want to tell you in a man and never understand it. Every time I make you say something, my tongue start twist. Mouth and front like somebody have fixed. More time you ignore me, make me feel embarrassed. So talk to myself like somebody foolish. But the love coming out for you, woman I have to tell you this. Every running star, I just get your eyes. I need you, baby. Time I run short, my love and affection for you. Always in my heart, I said I want your body. I need a body, and I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. I said I need you, baby. Time I run short, my love and affection for you. It keep a carry on. I said I want your body. I need a body, and I gotta live if I get you one day in my arms. You know my girl, this love is real. I love it can feel. So let's bring your love to me. Alright? I take you home tonight. The place already provide. I see it in your eyes. I know you love the vibes. I tell you once and twice. I love you, it's nice. Let me be your choice. Come and know me that I am not a player. I come here to stay. I can see it there. It's getting there. I said that I need you, baby. Time I run show, my love and affection for you.
Yes. We're back with our guests. You're listening to the Real Stuff Podcast, Flavius and Franco, along with our special guest, the artist himself, Craig Edeast. Yes, artist. We're back again. We're back. We get drop off just when we don't even remember if we talk about the summer. I mean, I tell you, say this time of the year, we fret because a hurricane season. And Miami is like a little thin glass, you know.
Yes, sir.
And the hard breeze blow the place, mash up. It don't have no mountain like Jamaica. But anyway, I say, yeah, man, this summer gonna be a long summer because so much things going on. And one of the things right now, we are going out in the street. If you must hear it on the news, the police officer we killed the black man up in Minnesota.
Yeah, what's that thing?
I'm going to tell you. Today, the figure say protesters did seize and settle because yesterday they were looting and burning of police cars all over in the cities, different cities. And this one now, I may see it on the TV, the people them like 150,000 strong out on the road in a different cities, the whole of Florida. From Jacksonville come right down back to downtown Miami. The people them out in the street, now them numbers, record numbers, and all over in America.
Yes.
So when you see things like this, it make me wonder all the while. We are so flavors, yeah.
You know, professional London,
no, yeah, me see it. A virgin Dan send me the London one where them go have a kneel down vigil in a London today, you know, and then them go do it back again Wednesday. Remember when we are little youth, I grew up, and me go say like this happen like about in the late 80s. Oh, we used to give each other the fist and yell a man, boom. I remember when I saw the picture of that back in the 70s when I go high school, and I'm sure you about 3 athletes from the US Olympic team. Right, I don't remember what year Olympics that was, if it was 70, but I know it was our 60s. I think in the 60s Olympics. And they put and they put up the face, right, and hold the face. During that time, I used to read a book with Malcolm X and read one with Martin Luther King. But I was a bit confused about leaders, because one is for non-violence and the next one say if a man hold on upon your man and him not supposed to hold, which him not refer to a white man, knock him out cold. That was Malcolm X. Yeah. And he said back then, black people don't ready for a revolution, because when you have a revolution, so don't use the word revolution if you don't know what it means, because for every revolution that he knows about, the French Revolution is the landlord fight against the landless fight the landlord. The German Revolution is the same thing. The landlord fight the landless, or the landless fight the landlord. All of these guys who fought a revolution, them a fight for land. Black man land is not in America. Black man land in Africa. So that's how we have to fight. But because them bring black people here, them say we're ancestors already here. The greatest fear for America, is black people, boss. That's the greatest. Yes, because you go tell me, if you see the video, 4 officers, the video show you how the man them operate first, and all you hear people that tell you, say the man, even the man that come on the radio, the podcast Thursday morning, and I say, boy, I have youths and myself, plus it's all about black people in general, because them shoot women too. And I'm saying, if a police pull you over, don't resist. But you see the night when me see the news, the man never had to resist them. He might cooperate. And the next thing you see them throw him on the ground and man have him knee in him neck and kill him. Like isn't like, when you kill a chicken? Because you know kill nothing, my brethren. It's like the man a kill a chicken, boss. And the man say, I'm going to squeeze that chicken until him dead. Whatever happened right now.
Man, it hurts. And one of the things I want to say in this whole thing is that We as black people, we still not learn. We not listen to Marcus Garvey, so we not follow the orders. Only things like this make we come together. We should be together from long time.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Africa under development and black people now go get none of the pie. Because all of Europe and China are coming there to invest and I go take out whatever them to take out. And we each up around America and the Caribbean here and not moving forward to Africa. True. And Marcus did don't tell we are ready, and if we are listening, have him as we hero.
We should have done
it. That come true. So why we not organize ourselves, black people? Why we not organize ourselves? Let me tell you something, brethren. All the black people are going within America, you know, in a 1 and 2 day with this brethren here. If the white man say we have to go cool and sit down aside, and in this side to do that, we have to go sit down aside. That's true them now. They don't want it to look away. But there are times when it go get to that state there. Where yeah, and we now can defend ourselves, and we should have can defend ourselves. We well, I go back to the white man. But we not invest in ourselves. We not do anything that we can stand up strong amongst the other races there. You know? So them are go always take away Marcus say we take ourselves we at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, man.
And we need to come up on the ladder. And the man he tell what this, you know, the man say in a faith time, him say, now at the time for the transformation, the gate you walk up, the portal walk up for everyone. You know, see it, for every race to come through, and we linger, and it's go even harder, you know, for we come through. You can imagine Africa now and say, yo, we have to go arms up ourselves, you know, because China arms, America arms, Russia arms, everyone arms.
Hey, that's the white man's strength, you know. That's the white man's strength, you know, arms, because them arms and them dangerous, you know. I bred you the name Nasio Fontaine do a song, arms and dangerous, government arms and...
Yeah.
But when me see where all them youth are run it in America, them white youth are, them going to state capital with them guns in a bus. And if that was some black man going to state capital, a police and them a shoot out, you know.
But me I tell you now, if them see you, they know when you are talking about this side to come fight back with the protesters. How was that in America? How more are dead?
Many more, sir. And that's what and that's what Malcolm I try show them say we not ready for a war, for a revolution, because revolution in everything is blood of shed and we don't want to shed no blood. That's the thing with the black man, him never want to shed no blood. But him want the job done.
Revolution only mean bloodshed to ice still. Revolution, revolute yourself from a state to a different stage, you know. So here one now we not take on the revolution, right? If you do it like how Marcus Garvey say, what Marcus Garvey did that was a revolution. Him did that. When him say Africa for Africa, now we are going to have our own ship, our own police station, our own army, our own. This was a revolution, you know, see it. And at the same thing, black people need to do right, you know.
We now move, man. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're the banks are black people. Look how much black people are millionaires and becomes billionaires in America and around.
And them have a bank for themselves. Not one of them say not one of them say make we come together and open up a bank.
Yeah.
Me, you, Tom, and John, because me a billionaire, him a billionaire.
Oh, you mean?
You a millionaire, you a millionaire. We must get lend we want people money and get it back.
Yeah. But we money not safe for them, Virgin.
And them not do that. Every man a think for himself.
Make we save for our own. Make we save and we save for our own money. Make it get mixed up by we.
Yeah, man, a true thing, man. Cause Martin Luther, Marcus Garvey did say, you know, when we have if we don't have our own economy, we are nothing. And I remember one year me there at Jamaica, you know, I mean I listen to Mota Baruch up on the radio talk about. It was Marcus Garvey's celebration. And Mota say, black people in Jamaica want to listen, because me I said this, you know, this is statistics me I read off. Him said Jamaica have call it roughly 3 million people. and him break it down into different races. And like him that say, all right, we're going to start with the Indian. How much thousand Indian there are Jamaica? Indians there are Jamaica. How much thousand Germans? How much thousand white? So him says, so the rest of we were left going to be 2.something million black people. Him say, all right, tell me a rich black man in a Jamaica. You tell me the richest black man right now in a Jamaica where legally have fee money off a business where he make.
Me thought that for years now, my brother.
And them couldn't name one.
Especially in my parish. Me, because I look and I say, when me look in the parish, all of the man them where I make the money are Syrian and China man them.
Yes.
When the supermarket, hardwares, all of the big money thing them. No black man no own nothing. No black man no own nothing.
No black man no own nothing. When a white man and a Chinese man and a Syrian are come in him store come buy or come in factory come buy, we spend our money with all of them. And he must say, I remember at Jamaica this me I tell you people. And he must say the little shoemaker money in the community, him not dead no more because we no carry shoes go give him for him fix the heel no more. Or if we put in an insole, we go buy a brand new something and where we go? We go at this store, that this store. In our community, where Marcus Garvey that talk about, Marcus Garvey say every community supposed to build with the business, with the schools, with the hospital, with the fire station, the police station, and people from the community must employ in all of those institutions, those grocery stores, those factories. When that money, when you get paid, so you work at the school and you get paid, your money is spent back in the community. So the community will develop. You don't have to wait for a government to come tell you, say, oh, you need a pump for the water tank so that water can run in everybody's house. You're not going to need that.
Yeah, but when you look now, it we are saying, my Virgin, all of the ones that will control the big business, them are some a different race.
Yeah.
You know, see it. And them now invest forward in a Jamaica. Our black people, our community.
Jamaica have to wake up. Have to wake up. You understand me?
Black people in Jamaica alone, black people have to wake up because we are make money now and we never know our resources. We don't know it. We're not in control of resources.
You are the second person say that this morning, a black man say it this morning, say, and I like black people now make money, Him say black people now make money. But where is the money going? It's not going back into a black resource.
Where's the black man in America, especially through music and sport and entertainment? Eh?
Them have put all of them together, billions of dollars. All of them put together.
But they're not Africanized. They're not Africanized. That's the thing about it. They're not Africanized. Everybody love this big pretty American and know say it about collapse. You don't understand?
True, man.
Seriously. Because they're not follow what go on.
It's a shame, my youth. It's a shame for see where I go on. And I tell them, I keep telling people, say the fire, I say black people are run and go up, not them white people are community. I don't want to know where them are run and go. You need to stay, find a location where you can say, build it, so it become a black dominant community. Our states, you understand me? And me think the closest part, the best state is Florida because they're closer to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know? But
this China man going have in Chinatown in it, man.
Yep.
And the Italian they have for them to think and whosoever.
You never go in a place and only one town them say Harlem was the only town before Oklahoma came about as the Black Wall Street before they mash it up. And anything white man see black man a deal with and it a turn into a progressive unit, them always bring somebody in it for mash it up.
Hey, but we don't learn that all now. We don't learn that all now.
You know, in the music, I know in the music, because I listen to Quarantine, And
Yes, sir.
if only it was, if it wasn't said the fact that we are go through this COVID-19, maybe the lyrics wouldn't be quarantine. Because a certain, must be serious when I listen to it, because you mentioned something about the trip, you know, boss. Saying, and some people have look towards that, whether it's truth or not. But when you look back, when you look, maybe quarantine just coming out for just be a substitution word, you know, because of the pandemic. But the lyrics I say something. The only thing I tell you for to change the video, do your own video.
Yes,
understand me? Do your own video.
Yeah, man, I gotta do a video, man.
Because the message is in the music.
I love that song because the song, it have a lot to say, and I would just want the ones them listen it and really listen deeply.
You're gonna play it for them here too, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Let them hear it. You know, quarantine.
Yes, yeah, man. Can be a leadership of one another.
Yeah, man. That's true. You're right.
Them put us on quarantine, so we see fit in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we see fit in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Sight them from a distance. Them oppose, them a shake and them want control population. Them have a plan in hand for the next generation. Have them stationed. The elders won't be here for too long. I know you have the cure, but yet you're gonna get some more. You want to plan for work for sure. Them say, turn on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine, so we see fit in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we see fit in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Don't you be afraid, want you to prepare. Hold your social space, keep it in your place. Mask over your face, wash your one them straight. Rather be in space, corona so not safe. And a nature illness, and them go business once some answers from the populace who invent this apocalypse. It's in the movies, but them next movies, and what the world gonna be. Them put us on quarantine, so we see fit in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we see fit in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Sight them from a distance. Them oppose, them a shake and them want control population. Them have a plan in hand for the next generation. Have them stationed. The elders won't be here for too long. I know you have the cure, but yet you're gonna get some more. You want to plan for work for sure. Them say, turn on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine, so we see fit in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be.
Yeah, man, them have the cure, you know, but them want to return away yard, and them want to kill off some more. So you hear that flavious? And it's true. And you know, just I listen to the song and I watch the TV in front of me, because I look on it, because I see the people them get so calm and timid and tame. I mean, I say them them catch the black people, them want them know them, cause them afraid when we get rebellious, you know, boss. Them afraid. And this them say, oh yeah, they're calm, and you know. Another trick again. But I saw it.
Yeah, man.
I saw it go.
You know, they said nature not give nothing like this, man. Nature not give nothing like this. Nature not cruel, man.
Hey, but everything, you know? every virus where nature give we, you know, we cure ourselves, you know, boss. Every one of them, yes, you know, because we body made up. We body made up of them virus, then you know, good virus and bad virus, you know, boss. See,
balance.
Yeah, and we have the food. We have all time of food. If we knock out the bad one, then we can't get along with the good ones, them boss. But when them guys are through them chemical warfare, hey. When I was in high school, my last year, I left high school, you know. Me afraid, because I don't know what me I go do. Because Jamaica was under some heavy blood cleat, what you call it, protesting and road blockade, and man are dead because election are come up. And it was Bob Marley songs them, an album when come out with the name Uprising and Survival. Them two albums there reassure me. And one of the songs will resonate with me. And time I see black people are protest with them, say they don't want to see us unite. They don't want to see us live together. All they want us to do is keep on killing one another. Top ranking, are you skanking? And it's true. Cause when them jump on for them ego tripping, boss, and blast off. You see them blast off man, them spaceship yesterday? Among them say them gone up in the space, them say them gone, boss. Where them gone set up there? When we see it, we said blood, fire, right in at the time. Them blast off on them spaceship, million miles from reality. And them not care for you nor me. You know, see it? Cause them have a plan with them. Whatever them gone up, they gonna do is a plan for them again, boss. But this is gonna make medicine be better because a medical thing them gone up the gone. Which medicine? When medicine are open the sky. Medical purpose. A more spy camera them gonna set up and more things how them go control with them internet and all of them things, yeah.
Exactly.
Artist, me call you the artist, boss. There's a reason why me call you the artist, because of your versatility, right?
Yes, right.
We know that day by day you're out on the road. All your lyrics coming out your head. Cause you end up on the road and so you ride the bike or whatever and the cool breeze have a flash in the head and you drive and lyrics are coming out your head more time,
Yeah, man, for real, man. You find say early in the morning because I touch the street like 7:30 in the morning, and them hours there are the juice hours, like the influence are flowing on your head top. So me go out there and me have all a little spliff a burn, and me I tell you, my brethren, inspiration too much. Sometimes I have to dump them and put them aside. I say, yes, that one is good. Me catch it from my phone. Some more. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw it go on.
But there's a lot of inspiration I gather out on the street there, during the days,
Right, I'm glad. I mean, living in the rural part of Jamaica is a blessing, and the reason why I say it, people are listening so in things of Kingston no blessed, but it's a blessing when you live in the rural part. Because I spend how much days we spend down there with the Flavius? About 4 or 5 days.
Where?
Enfield, up at Enfield.
Oh, yeah, man, about 5 years.
And when you get up a morning time and come outside, man, remember we used to have a thing of them called lima call, and them say the freshness of a breeze in a bottle.
But, yeah, man.
When you come out a morning time and you smell the fresh air, I come out of the mountain and you see the fog, Let me tell you, spot me there over Portmore, them man. You not see them thing, them man.
No, man.
So me know them.
Portmore cities, man. That's what the cities them stay about, man. Them congested, you see it.
Pay dust, you see, and all them thing. And the heat over there so want kill you. Just lay down on your face,
Yes, right. Yeah, man. Me have pure green around me. Everywhere green. River run. Everything.
Yeah. And river water cool it nice, no blouse and skirt.
Yeah, man. Then the water them are cool.
Yes, when it get cool. Me not talk now the sun at it, but you know, sometime in the sun at it have a little coolness, but me talk like early morning, you know, I go in at the midday. And them time they if you there by the river. Holy inspiration will come to you too.
If you get water from the spring come up underground, man, and that cool. That cool and sweet.
As a naturalist, Edeast, right?
Yes, sir.
As a naturalist, you say your day begin with you getting up at 4 in the morning and you get your things them ready for, you know, your produce ready for go up on the road. Right?
Right.
And then after all of that finish, you spend the rest of the day maybe in the studio before you go back home, go prepare again for the next day, you know, get yourself ready for the next day. Now, you say when the inspiration come to you, you have to drop it down on the phone. And then by in the afternoon, that's the time you get to listen to it. And if it really something where you want, like you go to the studio right away, go lay it, right?
Yeah, I go and work on it some more, bring it to the... Because you want to know with music, I don't like rush music. Sometimes the inspiration come bam and it connect. You know, but sometimes it come in a pieces.
Yeah.
Like you were out there and you get a line. Just a line, and you start build from the line there, and you reach 4 lines. And you say, all right, so I work and you serve. That gets it from my phone, the 4 line, because that 4 line, I tell the whole story when I want to tell. From me have them 4 line, I can't forget the storyline again. So from when I forward, you know, in the evening now, or anytime, remember it, I start from where I stop off right there, so. You know, side. So if I talk when I want quick and ready, then to say yes, I love this. It's urgent. I would have just go ahead and carry it right through, and then I go record it down.
Okay, you write for other artists too?
Yeah, I do it once or twice before, you know, but it's not something I do regularly, you know.
Okay. Cause the reason why I ask, cause you know, some artists them that said that one enough for me. It you know, I think me know the person who can sing that one here, can, you know, collab with that one here with somebody else. That's why I ask you the question.
Yeah, man, real, you know, I have a lot of songs like that, you know. Where even though I record them, I still know say it would have sound better with a particular artist, you know.
Yeah. True thing. So Flavius, your question, you know, you want to ask the artist any question?
No, I'm going to listen because him sound like a well organized person.
Well, man, if the man I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
you don't find that very regular. You know, you have a routine and keep and still find enough time in between to the best. Yes, sir. That's sure a whole heap of commitment because you know, so you have to make some money to survive, but you still now put the music on the back burner. Yes, sir. It a coexist with making the money. Yes, sir. So, you know, I think that is very good. Because I want to tell you what I do right now is what financing my music now, and I'm able to set up things that the music itself can bring back or bring forward to the business itself. Because my vision is to use the food to help the music to reach the level where the music can help forward the food in due time. So, you know, in a time from now, the food itself are going to expand and reach the level to a next level. You know, and I'm a bit behind time still, but it's still going on, you know. Yeah, we just take it as it comes because, you know, the easiest time now. Yes, sir. But I like how you're resolute, you know, you're resolute and, you know, you're very organized. Yes, a lot of people have a problem because them don't have the organization and the discipline. Yeah. And that is critical, the discipline.
Hey, Flavius, him and Culture come from the same community, you know.
Yeah, me realize that.
Yeah, and I see him, your Culture organized too.
Yeah, it must be a unique thing for that area. Yeah, man. You see, we are some set of youth, it was said earlier on, you know. We are some set of youth when know what we have, and know say we never give up on it no matter what, you know, because I want to say, me sing and make rain fall out of the sky like sky normal. And me start sing and me see the sky change and one shower rain, so boom, and by the time I done sing, the rain stop. And me sing, and man take out them gun and fire whole heap of shot. And I sing, me go out and dance, me do a dub plate for your sound system. You know. And me go to the dance because me say me really want to consider this dub plate I go do, because the brethren tell me, you know, it was 3 sound, you know, a tally for the champion sound in a St. Thomas, you know, the 3 biggest sound in the parish, you know. And the brethren say, you know, me want you to do a song for me. And me do the song and me go witness what the song do. Even the selector them on the sound where I play the song, the way the song create the impact, even them me surround the sound and turn fool like they don't know where to do. When the song start play, the song play for about 15 or 20 minutes straight. And the brethren where I did the song for, I'm a friend. And him know, when the dance done, the next day him drive come on my foot and him give me $5,000 in my hand. I never forgot. You know? So I said that to say I know the power where I have in the music. I sing and uplift. I sing song where people it a play and people just catching a mile from that song start, people just catching a mile all when the song, all when the session done, the following Sunday, them have to go for mother woman to take the ones them out a mile. You know, and I not talk them things because, you know, sometimes I want to remind me of them things and I say, you remember when that happened? And the things that I have put together and to say, you know, a real and living thing. So I know the power where I have in the music. So I could have never give up on music when me old and a grey. And as I say, it come like the older I get, the more mellow I sound. Yeah. Keep it up, keep working at this time.
Yeah, man. Don't stop, don't give up the fight. Okay, you never know.
Yeah, man, I not give up on music, man.
That's around the corner.
Music now give up on man. I not give up on music, man. I die in music, man. I give thanks every day for no say. When I hear a rhythm, I can think about something relevant and interesting, and I see it put to art. You know that the artist, you know, I draw the picture, the two sounds. You know.
True.
Yeah.
Well, this we'll call this part 1 of this chat session conversation with the artist himself, Craig Edeast. We're going to come back another day and we're going to do a part 2 maybe down in the summer when the album out to release, release date, release weekend, you know, whatever. With there,
yeah. I get all of them information there shortly and pass on to the eye, you know. So that's we have that. Yeah.
So before we leave you, before we wrap up this conversation, the next song we have is one named "Fool for Love," and this is more like a love song.
Yeah, you know, it's a love song within a song where it's just a mentor for the women them nowadays, because as I say, woman say for them time now to take the forefront and go work and be serious and gathering, you know, because you know, so I just want them all say, man, don't turn a fool to no guy where they will just see our work hard and I want to come of it all, you know?
Yeah, true thing.
And I also have a message for the youth them too, because it's not only one side, you know, but I just not tell the youth side, the man side of it, you know. This is just for the women them now.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, man. A sister once said to me, whenever you want to hear some of the greatest love songs in a reggae, just turn to the Rasta man them. And a true thing, you know. So,
no, I want to tell you, I got to cut this.
Yeah.
You're right. So.
Go ahead, true.
Most of my songs, them are love songs, you know. Most of my recordings, yeah. If you catch if I catch a side of your eye, man, you wouldn't believe, man, I have so much of them songs.
Hey,
one of the times,
Bushman is a good love song artist too, you know. Cause him have a song right
yeah, man,
now, what me like from a whole album named Your Love. You know,
yes,
wicked tune. So this one is Fool for Love.
Yes, sir.
Don't be a fool. Oh, no. To all you women out there, this is something I want you to know. I want you to know this. I'm gonna know you got a lot of courage. From your letter in your life, I know what be a worries. Him no care, him no business, him no know what love is. With a waste guy, you a waste time. I remember when you used to flourish. From you take him everything and perish. Run a joke, say your broke, every guy no vanish. With him empty promise, independent habit. Just don't be a fool. Fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves. Take control of love. I know when I see you come down. I know when I see you get hurt. Let me tell you, Vicky, them are you tricky. Them you use it and dump you like it's fire ticket. Look at you pretty. Should I know it cause you grew up in the inner city. Them no show no pity. Them we use you fit. Take care of them life of a celebrity. Now few down there with the ability. Can take care of you, make you feel so happy. Alright then. Just don't be a fool. Fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves. Take control of love. I know when I see you come down. I know when I see you get hurt. I'm gonna know you got a lot of courage. From your letter in your life, I know what be a worries. Him no care, him no business, him no know what love is. With a waste guy, you a waste time. I remember when you used to flourish. From you take him everything and perish. Run a joke, say your broke, every guy no vanish. With him empty promise, independent habit. Just don't be a fool. Fool for love, my girl. Learn all the moves. Take control of love. I know when I see you come down. I know when I see you get hurt.
The talented and the versatility of Craig Edeast. Don't be a fool. So may I tell you, so they are versatile.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, you know.
Well, with
yeah, man.
Go through. Can you hear more?
Yeah, I just want to say, I assure the youth them say, you can do dancehall music and it's beautiful, it paint a beautiful picture, you know, than what them are doing. Yeah, you know, most of them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I am here to show them, the dancehall ones, them that good music still can get done through dancehall, you know?
Mm-hmm.
On the aspect there. So Fool for Love are one of them, you know, and I have many more.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yes, sir. And song like this, I go live on. This song and I go stop play forever.
Yeah, man, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Me know in every artist, whenever me ask them the question, them say, sure, all of my songs, them, me love all of my songs, them, right? You've been recording from the 90s, right?
Yes, sir.
And there, and I go say must, but there should be a song or two that you have done And you say, boy, I really love that song, you know. I think that song is my trademark. You have any such song?
Yes, I. The same need you baby there.
Yeah.
Is that song where that song that when I was a youth and I performed that song, I love that song there so much until today. That's why I able could remember it if you put it on that rhythm, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And even though I'm gonna get it, update it so much. You know, me still full joy doing it, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But you said this not going to be on the album?
Yeah, I go again, yeah.
Oh, so this is, because you send it straight from the studio, just remember. So this is one of the track on the album. And then...
Yeah, this released already. This one released already.
Okay. And then the other three, Fool for Love, Quarantine, and Journey. These are songs where you know release them yet. Well, I know Quarantine is already out there, but I don't know. Yeah. It's already
These are some songs that in the pipeline to release soon.
Well, Craig,
the thing about it, I want to get much mileage and Quarantine. Then I start pushing Full Follow between. Yeah.
Well, Quarantine officially over there on our list tonight. Me I go move it up now the rotation officially tonight.
Yes, right.
So between Quarantine and the one by the Chalice artists, those going to be in the top rotation along with Question from Culture.
All right.
Yeah. So those Culture Unite too. And we know summer coming up. Whenever the album come out, we want the eye to come forward and give it more. We call that part 2 of the chat session. But before you leave here, any inspiration you want to pass on to the youths them or to our black people?
Yeah, you know, always, you know, I always want to tell black people and the world, say, we have to get wise within this time, you know, because the world still a move ahead of us, you know, and we always playing catching up, you know, so now is the time for I and I to unite and put our resources together and set up ourselves. That means because Africa itself await us and still here a linger and feel like we're the white man fight for is us. You know, so I just want to make the ones them know say a full time now we still ourselves and start the journey. And to all artists, youth especially, the road there now an easy road for trad fan. But if you love it, just continue and you may see reward, you know, in the forward there.
Yeah, man.
You know? And blessed be to all the ones them just big up someone, say hi to someone.
Got true.
You know, culture that. You know, I big a brother in the music, bless up yourself, Wally Campbell, you know, producer, Dean, Elite Generation, Roger, you know, all the ones them in a St. Thomas and the surrounding, Jamaica at large. I Craig Edeast, I say blessed, and we just keep the love and harmony within ourselves. Yes, I blessed. Nostalgia.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Music.
True. Flavius.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming and chatting with us. And we're looking forward to having you back and to hear some more great things from you and your music.
Yes, I. Blessed love.
Just keep strong, you know?
Yes, I.
And so, because he's on a musical journey as well, he's working on his album to be released summer or after the summer. It is so fitting for I to play this song again. Journey. For all of you who never hear it in the beginning of the show, I'm giving you back. Journey.
The one those who are grow it tell me this. Life is a test, learn as much from it. Don't get lost in the wilderness. Crows out there, them we eat your flesh. Oh yes. Oh yes. To all the ones, you know. When you see a youth, sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we just tell them say no give up. The one them a fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing we precious. Them one way life is so hard than a citrus. Them say that we suspicious, you them see waiting and live up. Them too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell me sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going out. Don't let the struggle in this time get you down. Pick up yourself from off of the ground. Life is an ocean, learn to swim or you drown. You live and you learn, you better be firm. Fight, fight, fight. Do what is right, keep your goals them in sight. Stick to the ones that may hold the same height. Wise mind think alike, the future is bright. It's sticky out there, yes it's tricky out there. Someone said them care, but them don't even want share. Them treat me unfair, and that make me cry tears. Cry, cry, ah. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going out. When you see a youth sit down, tell him get up. Give up, we just tell him say no give up. The one them a fail, put them now with us. How them act so cruel and so vicious. It's like we no fear of nothing we precious. Them one way life is so hard than a citrus. Them say that we suspicious, you them see waiting and live up. Them too bad mind we have up on my status. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going down. When the journey gets so tough and you feel like giving up, but tell them sit down. Just tell me you won't stand up to the count. You're not going out. Your life and know my peer worries. Him no care, him no business, him no know what love is. With the waste guy, you a waste time. I remember when you used to fly.
Yeah, you don't know this is your girl Bridges. And when I'm on the net, I'm always listening to reggae nostalgia for the very best in reggae music from the 60s to the millennium. Just keep it locked to reggae nostalgia. Your girl Bridges said that.
It's alright, it's okay. Just hang on a little bit longer, 'cause tomorrow is another day. It's alright, it's okay. Just stand firm in the face of adversity and watch them fade away. Life of a wave will carry you down when the money in the bank gets shorter and the bills are coming and you're caught in between the devil and the deep blue water. I know say that when you come on my yard and the picnic them I look them sober. So you do what you can.
Take away myself. The sound of your voice makes me weak. All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I send me a figure flee. Me have to take away